Why in the fruit salad is your video so washed out here? The last time 1080p was this ashy, I was streaming Resident Evil 2. What's up, steal your waifus?
Also, I guess Mom stopped playing the piano just in time for Georgie to enter the cellar, but takes no notice of him whatsoever. Of course, her rampant negligence is possibly the best parenting in the movie.
I'm kind of confused in what you're attempting to say here. Are you suggesting that a mother should constantly, at all times, be paying attention to one of their two children? I'll say it again. Jeremy is a helicopter parent.
Hurry up.
Because Bill has had a very busy day of lying in bed and trying not to vomit out of his nose anymore, there is no need for Bill to tell Georgie to hurry up. Therefore, we get the first of many unnecessary jump scares from this movie.
No need? He told him to go grab the wax like 5 movie minutes ago. I'd have jump scare yelled at his ass too.
Why in the hell do they store the flashlight in a dark basement? And if Georgie knew this was here, why didn't he go for that in the first place?
Why would they store a flashlight in the basement? Because typically that's where you store things that you don't usually need. Besides, the basement obviously isn't always dark. This is why Georgie attempted to flip the light switch. Because there's a light switch. Also, the reason he didn't go for the flashlight first is because his objective was the wax, which he easily found in the dark. The reason he went for the flashlight in the first place was because he saw a pair of eyes that scared him and he wanted to see the source of those eyes.
How the hell did Georgie not see the second barricade if he clearly saw the first one? This whole movie can be blamed on Georgie's inability to view things in 3 dimensions.
Wait, hold on. The master of not noticing shit that's obvious to everyone else is ragging on someone who couldn't see something because he's short? Hypocrisy.
Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Georgie knows not to take stuff from strangers, but was not taught to never talk to clowns in full makeup that live in storm sewers.
The entire reason the extra-dimensional monster known as Pennywise appears as a clown is that, at least in Derry, children are far more likely to engage with a clown. The fact that he is in a sewer is immaterial, because Georgie is f***ing 7.
Can you smell the circus, Georgie? There's peanuts, cotton candy, hot dogs.
I get that Pennywise thinks kids are stupid, and rightfully so. However, 0 kids would find it appetizing to go eat a f***ing hot dog in the sewer.
This dude would beg to disagree.
There are 2 places you can be in this world. You can be out here like us, or you can be in there like them.
Or you could get a job that doesn't involve brutally murdering sheep if that's not your thing.
This is a life lesson. The point is that you can allow people to take advantage of you, or you can take charge of your life and stand up for yourself.
Nice frisbee, flamer.
That's like everything, sister.
Jeremy sends a villain for being a villain.
You got a free ride this year because you're your little brother.
Henry's bully boner was cockblocked for a full 8 months due to Georgie's disappearance? The f*** sense does that make?
Even bullies have hearts. Also, Jeremy says boner.
The Barrens. It's the only place that Georgie could have ended up.
He's gone, Bill.
Look, I know all the parents in this movie are dickheads, and that the Georgie situation was hard on Bill's dad, but the Barrens are pretty f***ing close, right? Could they not just drive out there and check to make sure he's not right?
Son, Georgie has been missing for 8 months. If he were washed down the drain, he would be dead just because of the length of time. And if it were that close, Georgie should have found his way back home, or at least an adult that could help his parents find him. You and Bill are in denial is what I'm saying.
Other than seeing Henry and his gang be a bunch of dicks, there's 0 context as to why they were going to run over Mike. And Henry screaming "stay the f*** out of my town" makes no sense if you didn't read the book or see the original miniseries. And you know how we feel about that here.
It's obvious to anyone that isn't a pompous, blithering idiot that this is racism. You don't need a goddamn book to see that the white person telling a black person to stay out of his town is a racist.
Totally get that Pennywise can take whatever form it wants to. That's established pretty early on. But now he can make things disappear off paintings? If he's able to f*** with matter and space this way, why go through all the trouble of f***ing with these kids before killing them? He could just turn their house into a sandwich and eat away.
What part of supernatural shapeshifter aren't you understanding? It changed into the painting, Jeremy. You literally just said it yourself. It can take whatever form that it wants. Besides, the entire purpose of terrorizing the children is that fear acts as a seasoning for humans. It makes us taste better.
First you said the Barrens, and now you're saying the sewer. I mean, what if we get caught?
Sure is lucky for it that Bill convinces all these kids to go to the sewer, where all the killings take place. Like, shouldn't Pennywise be hanging around an arcade or movie theater if he really wants some kid meat?
Jeremy knows all the places that kids hang out. Yeah, hello? FBI?
The fact that this supposedly intelligent character picks up this foreign object leads me to believe that Jeremy Ray Taylor is secretly auditioning for a role in the next Fantastic Four reboot.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference.
Sure seems odd that Pennywise picks this one group of kids that are either already friends or about to become friends. I guess it's possible all the kids in Derry are having these encounters. But some mention of that would have been a nice addition to the proceedings.
But they did give you that. Remember? Betty Ripsom?
Egg boy!
Dude, he just read a story about Easter eggs, so now he's typecast as Egg Boy?
It's heavily implied that Pennywise was manipulating Ben into seeing the events of the Easter Ironworks explosion. So yeah, that's why he called him Egg Boy.
Where you off to, tits?
You see, that's a much better insulting nickname.
Jeremy sends something he likes cliche.
Henry!
Is Bell truly confused about what Henry is capable of? Not to mention he kept holding Ben after Patrick tried to Michael Jackson him with the homemade flamethrower.
Yeah, and look at his face.
How in the hell did Discount Adam Driver and his buddy not catch up to Ben? I know they paused briefly to discuss Henry's knife.
Jeremy answers himself ex machina.
Glad I got to meet you before you died.
This is a nice gesture and all to help Ben out, but wouldn't just taking him to a doctor have been a better call?
I mean, yeah, but these are kids. Since when do kids make the right call?
Well, how about that? You look just like Lois Lane.
Look, it's not the movie's fault because Stephen King wrote these parts, but I'm gonna give a sin to this town for not having a single f***ing redeemable adult character.
Jeremy. That is the f***ing point. This is the reason the creature has been able to thrive, precisely because Derry is a messed up place. In fact, it has some kind of effect on the adults of Derry, which makes them numb to the many children that end up missing.
People die or disappear 6 times the national average. And that's just grown-ups. Kids are worse.
How is there a terrible national average when Pennywise only shows up every 27 years like an unpunctual cicada?
Is that an actual question? Because he kills a hell of a lot of people, that's how.
Do you think this will help me, Yeti?
Look, I know it can take any form, and the kids are scared of different things, but none of these other monsters are anywhere close to being as scary as Pennywise. And apparently all the kids are scared of the clown, so why not just stick with that?
None of these other things are as scary as the clown? All of these kids are scared of the clown? First of all, only one of them has a fear of clowns according to the film. Hell, not even Georgie was afraid of Pennywise. And you mean to tell me that a zombie leper and this fucking ghoul are less scary than a clown? No.
We'll float down here.
Wait, why didn't Pennywise kill Eddie? I realize he's trying to build the fear in the town, but he's got this asshole cornered in his backyard. This should be easy.
Again, Pennywise is seasoning his food. Something you apparently don't know anything about.
Bev seems surprised to see an aggressive hair clog when she was the one that dumped all that hair directly into the drain last night.
And here we have the comedy that CinemaSins fanboys say that the channel is all about. Tell me, did anybody laugh at that?
Once again, it had a kid in his grasp and decided to be a bloody dick instead of killing Bev. I mean, why didn't Betty Ripsom get the same consideration?
I really should have titled this video, Jeremy spends 15 minutes refusing to understand it. He is scaring them because fear makes them taste better.
Wait, it is a singular entity, right? It can morph into almost anything, but there aren't multiples of him. So how is he posing as Georgie and Pennywise at the same time?
Is this nigga serious? Yes, he is. Look here, genius. If he can transform into anything, that means he can turn his hand into a Georgie puppet, you fucking muppet.
Well, I guess that's that. I spent all this time planning this attack, but that clever little bastard countered with the old run up the stairs move.
Fear makes them taste better.
What happened in here?
My dad couldn't see it. I thought I might be crazy.
Even after they're in the bathroom, Bev refuses to tell them that a hair clog attacked her, then puke blood all over the walls.
Jeremy thinks showing instead of telling is a sin. Think about that for a second.
It seemed like him, but there was this...
The clown.
Why would Eddie mention the clown here? The only thing that attacked him was the ghost leper outside the house.
Jeremy feigns ignorance cliche because this motherfucker literally sinned that scene earlier and asked why did Pennywise let him go.
Float down here.
Wait, why didn't Pennywise kill Eddie?
Can only virgins see this stuff? Is that why I'm not seeing this?
Listen, I love Finn Wolfhard, and he's hilarious in this movie. But why is this character here? The movie spent the entire first hour painstakingly showing us the interactions between it and every other one of these kids. But Richie apparently even gets on the nerves of immortal demons.
No, the film simply later shows Pennywise terrorizing him with a room full of clowns in the well house.
Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing asshole!
While mullets definitely existed in the late 80s, the term was not coined until 1994 by the Beastie Boys in their song Mullet Head.
In your Everything Wrong with CinemaSins Volume 2 video, I seem to recall you expressly denying that you used the IMDb Goofs section when writing sins. Well, while perusing the Goofs section for this film, I couldn't help but notice that the sin that you wrote here is uncomfortably similar to this goof. Make of that what you will, but I'm counting this as a sin.
Lethal Weapon 2 is showing at the Derry Theater on July 4th, even though it wasn't released nationwide until July 7th of 1989.
I don't know. Based on your track record, I'm not so sure you didn't steal this from there, too.
My grandfather thinks this town is cursed. He says that all the bad things that happen in this town are because of one thing, an evil thing.
But he has no problem sending his grandson into this town on a regular basis to deliver meat.
As explained, Pennywise and Derry have some sort of effect on most humans in this town. And one extra sin for not noting that this kid is a dead ringer for Muhammad Ali.
Why, Rich? What are you afraid of?
Clowns.
Then why the hasn't Pennywise the fucking clown shown himself to Richie?
Hey Jeremy, quick question for you. Is the movie over? No? Well, maybe they're going to do it later. Have you thought of that?
Clearly between this, Stanley's creepy painting, and the book Ben was looking at in the library earlier, Pennywise's real ambition is trick photography.
We should be outside.
If you say it's summer one more f***ing time.
Bill would be excellent at CinemaSins.
If by excellent at CinemaSins you mean a stuttering, stubborn idiot that refuses to listen to reason, I'm with you, pal.
Bill has a great sense of dramatic timing, and is able to open the door precisely when Richie is being attacked.
This is CinemaSins ignoring a scene that they've asked for twice.
Oh, I've heard of you, Miss Marsh.
After years and years of overprotective mothering that would make the mom from Pink Floyd The Wall anxious, Sonia dishes out some classic slut-shaming so we can officially understand how awful of a person she is.
Jeremy tries to virtue signal in current year cliche.
We all know no one else is going to do anything.
How the hell does Bev know this exactly? They haven't even tried to approach the police or a single adult to explain what's going on.
Are you serious? The film has explained that adults cannot see or do anything about the creature and that it basically hides itself from them. Asking why they don't go to an adult is clear evidence that CinemaSins has completely failed to understand this film.
You know it's all bullshit, right? Your medication, they're placebos.
Greta just happens to be present at the drugstore to give Eddie some bitchiness position to lead to the final act.
I just want to take this opportunity to point out that Jeremy tried to show how woke he was a few sins ago, but is now referring to a woman calmly explaining something as bitching.
Kill them all! Kill them all!
Why would it want Henry to kill everyone? I thought it needed the children to feed on before he can hibernate. And shouldn't he be preying on Henry instead of getting Henry's murder bone growing?
It's called manipulation, which is what Pennywise has been doing to nearly everyone in this town. Also, Jeremy says murder bone growing. I mean, wait, what was that?
I understand Eddie doesn't want to keep the bullshit pills around, but that is a perfectly good fanny pack he just threw away that could actually come in handy for carrying supplies on this mission.
Jeremy thinks a fanny pack is appropriate in any situation.
So Pennywise chose to keep Beverly alive just because? He knows the Losers Club is coming to try and rescue her regardless, so why is she still breathing? And yeah, there's some comment later on about Beverly not being scared, so that's why he couldn't kill her, but that.
No, don't that. That's precisely why he hasn't killed her. It's not a bullshit excuse because that is the nature of the creature. It is a fear eater.
Jeez, there's always a secondary human villain in a Stephen King story, isn't there? This character might as well be named Ace, Walter, Big Jim, Lloyd, Mother Carmody.
Well, this isn't a Stephen King story because he had nothing to do with the production of this film. Or are you suggesting that the books do matter? I'd remove a sin if you were, but you're not, so...
Is the changing of the It appearance from the painted lady to the clown really that more terrifying?
The contradictions simply do not stop, do they? Earlier, you suggested that the clown visage was scarier than everything else.
I know It can take any form, and the kids are scared of different things, but none of these other monsters are anywhere close to being as scary as Pennywise.
Now you are literally asking, is it really scarier than the painted lady? It's almost as if having multiple people write for your videos and not consult each other is a bad idea.
How is she in the air?
Considering everything that's happened up to this point, Beverly floating in the air should be something that feels pretty f***ing ordinary to these kids.
Says the guy that was flabbergasted how It and Georgie could possibly exist at the same time.
You said I can have my boat back, Billy.
Even though It is solely dependent on fear for food, he goes for the heartstrings in Bill's case for some reason.
The reason is that Bill has thanatophobia, or the fear of losing someone to death. This is why he had an extremely difficult time accepting that Georgie was dead.
Of course, this final confrontation between children and an immortal hellspawn is going to come down to good old-fashioned punching and kicking.
Says punching and kicking while showing a scene of the children using weapons.